colors of the light. In the darkest hours, you ignite the night.
Hello everybody and welcome on the podcast for the healers made by your healer. So hello. This is the first episode and I wanted to talk about how to become a healer. So that question is quite tricky because for me, you don't become a healer. You are or you are not a healer. Because for me, it's not something that you can learn at school. It's like truly and really some type of state of mind, state of being as well. And it's deep down inside your heart, you can heal people or you cannot. I'm not talking about physical healing, obviously, because this you can learn at school for sure. But being a healer in terms of healing people's heart and healing people's emotions and healing people spiritually is something that you don't become, you just are. To me, it's like you born a healer, whether or not you know it. Usually people who are born a healer, the way they were born, it's not something that their family is very proud of, because usually they are born in dysfunctional families, because when they were born, they were healing the family itself, they brought some type of harmony, some type of love, and that's very important. I don't believe in you become a healer because you learned it at school, and you can heal people because you've been through a lot. No, if you have not healed yourself first, you cannot be healing people, because you will just project a lot on the people that come for healing, and that's not going to help them necessarily, Also, I feel like the energy that you vibrate at, the frequency that you vibrate at, is the one that you giving to the people who come for healing. So if you're not at your highest vibrations, it's kind of hard to give people this vibration if you don't have it, That's for sure something that is very important for me, is the fact that you don't become a healer, you are or not a healer. And I feel like being called a healer is something that I really didn't want to accept, because when you are a healer, people expect you to heal everything and to know everything and to know how to explain everything. But most of the time when you are a healer, you're highly intuitive, so you don't really know what you do. You just do it because you feel like this is the way, this is how you should do it. Usually I feel like healers, they heal with nothing, so they don't have any tools, they don't have anything. It's just them, it's their vibrations that heal you. So it is complicated sometimes to have that ancestral healing and at the same time the modern healing. It's okay, when you are working in the holistic field, everybody has their own tools. They use crystals, they use plants, they use this and that and the third, and it's damn, sometimes you don't use any of that, but does that make you a healer or not? I think yes, you are still a healer whether or not you use tools, I'm not talking about, spamming people all around the world and say that you can heal everything. No. But I'm saying if you are a healer, you know that you are. The question is more when are you gonna accept it than how to become one, because you already are. I feel like most of the healers, we always want to do it properly. We have people's best interests. We want, to do it well and to, help them. And sometimes because we are in that society nowadays, very capitalist and so on, we forget that we don't need all these tools. Before these tools were there were still healing happening, So I feel like diving deep down in your soul is something that can help you to heal. And if you are a healer, I think you are always transforming yourself. you always healing and you always thinking and you always feeling. And it's something that is very common around us as healers. It's not always easy to be a healer, like I said, because you like people have high expectations and you don't want to deceive or disappoint them, which is normal, but yeah, I feel like the question how to become a healer has no answer, because it shouldn't even be a question. Like, you don't become one, you just are. And when you accept to be the healer that you are, then you start having your specific tools and your specific way of healing and your, area of expertise. But before having this area of expertise, you need to accept that you are a healer, that you are one of us, So yeah, I feel like that's like the start of your journey as a healer, is to accept who you are. And I feel like it's not always easy, obviously, especially if you grew up in trauma, or if you still have trauma, whatever trauma that you can have, if you have not healed them, usually you're not ready to heal people. So it's like there are a lot of steps, different steps, Some signs that you are a healer are like, for example, you're very sensitive to your environment, whether it be nature, whether it be people around you, or even animals, or plants, minerals, like beings in general. You're very sensitive. You have the ability to kind of like calm people down, kind of like help them, breathe. Yeah, like you kind of like, very calming, very quiet, very in your inner world, so to speak. You're kind of like very intuitive as well. And you can sense people's energy, people's emotions, and you know what they need. Usually it's like very much like through words, you can like help them and you don't even know that you're helping them. Like, it's very natural. Everything is very natural in what you do, You have also that nurturing energy. Like, it's easy for you to nurture for people or for things, for animals, stuff like that, And I feel like these are kind of like the core elements you have within you. These are like your resources as a healer, Also, if you can ask your family members if they knew somebody that was a healer in your family tree or whatever, maybe that can help as well, because usually it's a family thing. But not necessarily, but usually it is. So this is also a sign that you might be a healer as well, even though you're not sure. Having psychic ability is also something that happens quite often. As you are very in tune with your environment, you have that ability to see, hear, feel things that other people don't feel, see, or hear, That's also something very important. But being, for example, a psychic medium doesn't mean that you are a healer, because when you are a medium, your goal is to communicate with the invisible world and give us messages, but that doesn't mean that you're here to heal. That's different. But the fact that you heal is literally within you. Like, it's your vibrations, is your aura, if you want. It's within you. It's not something that you can earn or something that you can gain. It can be amplified for sure through experiences, through life, throughout the time. You can have more and more abilities to do certain things, but usually you're already very at ease with it. It's not something that you learn from scratch, Also, you're a very good listener. That means that people feel very comfortable around you, so they will tell you whatever they want to say that they don't necessarily say to somebody just like that. So they will tell you their long life trauma and, what they've been through and their issues and, all of that. And it's kind of like hard to deal with that much information, especially when you don't really know that person and they just come and tell you all of that and then they feel better. That's also a sort of healing that you're giving them because they can, express themselves basically. And they feel at ease to do so. And so, you kind of like attract people who have issues, troubles in their life. But it's like they're attracted to you, basically. It's not you that you're doing something in particular. It's just like they're attracted to you because they can sense, whether or not it's conscious, they can sense your energy and they feel attracted because you're warm. Your energy is warm and welcoming, and it feels good to be around you overall, But sometimes maybe you have been, harassed or bullied at school because you were different. You usually have a different behavior, so that means you're more mature for your age, you're more quiet, and that makes other children make you feel not okay with yourself. But you should be okay with yourself because it's okay to be a geek, or it's okay to be a little weirdo, or like it's okay to be who you are. It's not a problem. You are not the problem. But so you also have kind of like mystical experiences when you were a child, and maybe still you do, like this is like kind of like a thing. You don't have to see entities all the time to be called a healer, because a healer by definition heals people, and they don't have to do that through other entities' energy. It can be just using their own energy to do so. But what I'm saying is like you naturally attracted to that also. So that means you're attracted to plants, you're attracted to animals, you're attracted to beings, you're very sensitive when, for example, there is a storm or something, and then there's a tree that's dying. You feel it. Like being a healer is not something that you can learn. I think it's something that you are. You can be a healer for the physical body, for the spiritual body, for like the emotional body, whatever. But being a healer is the fact that you heal people and you actually enjoy it. And whether or not you acknowledge that about you, it is a thing. So people tell you so, whether or not you accept it. And so, I am here today to tell you that it's okay to be a healer. It's not a curse, it's a blessing, and it is what you do with it that will make it feel good for you as well. And so I encourage you to, start learning a little bit more about healing practices that might be interested for you. But overall, it's okay to be a healer. You don't become one, you just are, and you just have to accept it. So thank you for listening this episode. So this is the first episode, so we just kind of like starting to dive into it. I hope it helped, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share it as well. It was the podcast for the healers.